Hi there, welcome to Monetize Your Business podcast conversations in partnership with FNB. My name is Hetty the Entrepreneur and I am your host for this episode. And as you know, I'm not flying this plane on my own. I do have my co-pilot with me, Papa Biz. How are you today?
All good, Papa Biz here. We actually have one of our pitch winners from one of our workshops. This is going to be good.
Absolutely. I'm really looking forward to this conversation. Today we've got Tebogo Fortunate Mathe, who is also known as the Eggman. His business is based in the Mabopane township, and we're really looking forward to unpacking a lot more with him. Tebogo, how are you today?
Hi, Hetty, and hi to the viewers. And Papa, thank you guys for having me. I am feeling very much excited. I am so happy to be with you today.
Great stuff. I'm really looking forward to it. It's not every day we get to speak to a pitch prize winner. So congratulations on winning the pitch prize. How does it feel? Are you still on a high?
Is it live or should I just continue?
You can continue. Yeah.
You know, it has been a very amazing session for me. The session on Insishanguve on the 21st. It was very exciting for me in the first place when I went there, and to me it was more of a prophecy moment.
Yes.
I believe entrepreneurship is all about faith. Without faith, you cannot become an entrepreneur and succeed. Weeks before the session in Soshanguve, I saw you guys on Instagram. I was following you guys on Instagram, and I was excited seeing the kind of things that you were doing. And I had the faith that I would love to meet these people. And actually, I'm going to win the pitch on the 21st of September. And that's exactly what happened on that day.
That is amazing. That is amazing.
So I'm still on a high, and I don't think it'll ever drop low anytime soon, because it is something that is within me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, that's good. I mean, we get a lot of people who are looking to pitch, and most times, like when we do a workshop, we get about between 50 and 60 applications that we go through, and then yours came through, and then once on the day, people want to know, but why wasn't I selected? Well, this and that, and then you just have to say, look, let's just see, in terms of those that are here, and see how they pitch. And then you can take lessons from there. And obviously yours came out the best. And the feedback always, after a pitch winner and then others come in, it's like, oh, I've actually learned a lot. I wouldn't have been ready. So it was actually good to see just the way that you came through with your pitch. And yeah. But before we go into more around that, I mean, maybe you can just take us a little bit back so we can get to know a little bit more about yourself. Who is Tebogo? Okay. Where did you grow up? What was it like growing up? What type of home? Things like that. We like to connect and see from there.
Okay. That's very exciting. I grew up in Mabopane. I grew up in a family of 9.
9, wow.
Yes,
okay.
We were 9 of us, and hence I would love to also have a big family myself. Okay. We were 9 at home. I'm the 5th of the 9. And then I grew up in a very artistic and entrepreneurial family. My father was a carver. He was carving wood and stone.
Oh wow!
And he was also a drawing artist. He was a painter. He was doing a whole lot of things. He was a multi-talented man.
Okay.
Yeah. So I remember a particular time when I was 7 years old, when my father was looking at me eating. I think it was on a Saturday morning. We were eating, all of us, the family was sitting down and eating breakfast, and he looked at how I was eating my food. I don't know how and what he saw there, but then he said to me, and I've carried those words with me all my life. He said to me, one day you are going to be a good and big businessman because of the way you are eating. You are basically, according to what he saw, I was displaying my entrepreneurial skills in the way I was eating my food. And I've always carried those words with me, and I've always remembered those words. Whenever great things are happening, I remember my father and those words. And I also believe that words are very powerful, because what he said on that day basically has built me into what I am today and has basically molded the kind of the brain and the mind that I have today.
Yes.
Yeah, so having grown up with both parents, I think it was also very important for me.
Okay.
It was important in that I was able to get the proper development that was needed in order for me to become the person that I am today. Grounded, humble, and a go-getter, basically. Yeah.
That's amazing. Would you say that your father was one of the people that kind of inspired you to get into entrepreneurship?
Most definitely. I believe, having grown up in front of him and seeing him doing all that he was doing, creating from nothing.
Yes.
And living his life of passion and being able to put food on the table with his arts and entrepreneurial ways. That was very important to me because it gave me a possibility that it is possible. I don't necessarily need to work in order for me to make a living.
Yes.
Yeah, so it gave me that possibility and it has inspired me to become who I am today.
What were you like at school?
I must say I was one of those quiet kids in the elementary days. But then as the years went by, I think I found myself, I was too shy at the beginning, but then I found myself to be a very outgoing person. Like, I guess that's when my entrepreneurial attitude and character started showing up. So I was this person who was always communicating with everyone and laughing with everyone and talking to everyone. I think that is the character that was hidden inside me during the elementary years. Yeah.
And then amongst your siblings, I mean, how would you relate? You know, when you think about growing up, because if I check correctly, you said you're basically like a middle child.
Yes, I'm the fifth. I must say growing up in a large family, there's always going to be chaos. There's always going to be chaos, fighting for the remote, fighting for almost everything, always fighting. And basically thinking that my brother does not like me much, my sister does not like me much. But then as we're growing up, we realize that it is part of growing up. It is not necessarily something that is serious or something that you're supposed to be taken by heart. We grew up and we realized that actually we were more closer to one another than the earlier years when we thought maybe it was all about fighting, competing for the remote, fighting for everything, for the resources in the house. So I hence even now, I have this idea that it's better to have a large family than a smaller family because now as we are grown up, we don't have parents anymore and we lean on one another.
Okay, and then at least that relationship is there with you guys. It's interesting because, I actually remember, when growing up, I mean, our family, we were three, so I was the eldest in the family. And what was interesting is we'd have fights, man, as children. Me, my brother, especially my sister and I. My sister's the youngest. So she'd get all the attention and everything. But growing up, it's almost like, the one that I was fighting with the most, that we've ended up being, quite close, as adults. Because, we're there for each other and then, reach out to assist. Yeah. Have you also experienced it like that?
Exactly. Like my brother, the one that comes before me, we used to fight a lot. And he used to hit me so he used to hit me so bad. But then nowadays, you may even call us twins because we are inseparable. We are always together. So there's nothing that he does that I'm not a part of it, or something that I do he's not a part of it. So we have become more like twins now. And I remember during those years when we were still very young, he used to beat me so hard. My father would come and he would actually tell my father that I'm the one bothering him.
That's siblings for you.
Yeah, but then my father was like, no, there's no way. Tebogo is a very kind and sweet person. He would never do that to you.
Yes.
So yeah, but then today we're quite fine.
Yes.
So what is your journey like after school? What?
That was a struggle. After school, basically, my marks were not that good, and that's where all of this came from. I stayed at home, I think, for 2 years after matric, trying to figure out what is it exactly that I wanted to do, because my marks were low. And I remember when it all started, my mother gave me 500 rands. Because I was complaining to her that I don't know what's going on with my life, where I'm going. I'm done with my matric, and then my life is stuck. I cannot go to university. I don't have money. With that 500, I remember I decided to go and buy 1 box of eggs.
Okay.
Yeah. I decided
Where did that idea come from?
Why eggs in particular as well?
Well, initially, it was not about business. I loved eggs so much, and I wanted to have more of them at home. I decided, let me have enough eggs in the house so while doing other things so that I don't run out of eggs. I just loved eggs so much. But then when the eggs came, I realized they were too many. They were too much for the family. So I started talking to the neighbors, started selling the box. So until I realized this could become a business. And after selling that box, I went and bought more eggs. Only to find that people are more interested. They kept coming back, and we would have more than 100 walk-ins in a week.
Wow.
Sure.
So that's when the Eggman started. Then after that year, I got a break to go and study. I got a bursary to go and study. I went to university, and while at university, I decided I had an idea that let me run that business that I was running at home here in university. And then students were interested. Even though at first it was a bit peculiar, they would look at me with that eye. Who's this guy selling eggs? He looks like an old man. But then it became much more interesting as time goes. I appeared on Idols.
Really?
Yeah, so
That's why you were familiar. That season that I was supposed to win, and then they wouldn't allow me to shine.
yes, I appeared on Idols, and all of a sudden I was very famous. After Idols, yes. So everybody wanted to buy eggs from the Eggman. So the Eggman grew exponentially from there. We would even get orders all the way from KZN, Cape Town.
Sure.
We got,
for eggs?
Yes, for eggs. And then suddenly eggs became interesting. We got franchise restaurants, even got contracts from the likes of Fundi or Edgelone.
Yes.
For eggs?
Yes, man, for eggs.
That is incredible. That's amazing.
Yeah. So it's been very amazing.
How do people respond when they ask you what type of business you're in and you say you're in eggs? You know, sometimes we underestimate simple businesses, but it's so incredible how it can be a big business.
You know, I realized earlier on that it's not about creating an idea that is not there yet. It's not about creating something that is rocket science.
Yes.
It's not even about inventing another wheel.
Yes.
But then you can still continue with the same ideas that are there, but then do them differently.
True.
We decided that we're going to deliver eggs creatively, innovatively, and in a way that will be inspiring to many others.
Yes.
And that's what we've done, and people have received it with open arms.
Sure. Wow. Very, very
Now, I
impressive.
know as well, you've communicated, after the workshop, you actually got quite a lot of business and orders. Tell me what the experience has been like from the workshop as you've experienced it.
The workshop, the Monetize Your Business.
Monetize Your Business, yeah.
Yes, on the 21st in Soshanguve. It was very, very exciting for me because since the COVID days, basically, I had not been in public. COVID had actually changed everything. During COVID, we lost the contracts. We lost a whole lot of business, and basically we started afresh from COVID. So to me, the session was very exciting, and it was very eye-opening. I actually got to relearn everything that I had learned before. And meeting new people, meeting new guys, and learning new skills, new tactics, and networking with a whole lot of people. For me, that session was very important. And it was more like a reawakening.
Yes.
Yeah, so after the networking at the session, we got a lot of calls. Yeah, we got a lot of calls, big bulk business calls.
Amazing.
Yeah, and it's really amazing. It has been very...
From the workshop.
Exactly, from the workshop. Very exciting, but then at the same time, it has brought new challenges in that our production is not big enough to cover all those. So we had to now go out and basically network and try to connect with other farmers and other producers in order for us to be able to cover the demand that has just came up right now. So yeah, we are very grateful for the Monetize Your Business session. It has been very, very important for us. It's more like a turning point.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I think that's good because, sometimes, we're not as aware in terms of what happens afterwards and so on and so forth. So it's good to get that type of feedback so that we're also aware and we can be able to use that. If I can put to you, when you envision in your mind over the next year or 2 years, where do you see the business going?
That is a very interesting question. My aim with this business, basically, I would love to see it being in every household. I would love to see it being a household name.
Yes.
I would love to compete with those that are already there.
Yes.
And actually get a bigger piece of the pie. Because I believe the industry is growing on a daily basis. It's growing, and it's only a few people are actually looking into this industry.
Yes.
People are unawarely consuming this industry, but then they don't want to be a part of it because they are not aware. That is, I actually read a report, the statistics of the poultry industry 2024, and there's this one company that made 80 million rands per week.
What? My goodness.
Yes, all out of eggs. And there's only a few players in the industry.
Sure.
Yes.
And most of us are sleeping on this industry. So that is the pie that I want to be a part of.
Yes.
And there's also a lot of untapped market, especially into Africa. We limit ourselves too much that we only look at South Africa and think the market is saturated, the bigger guys are playing here and then we have no space. But then the continent is huge.
It is.
The continent is huge. We should be thinking broader and thinking how am I going to be able to supply Namibia, Botswana, Zimbabwe, and all these other countries. So it's not just about South Africa. So that is my aim.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure, that's such a great and big vision. Often at times when we look at successful businesses like yourself being a pitch prize winner, we often think that, the entrepreneurship journey is straightforward and easy, and we know that it's far from that. Can you share with us maybe some of the challenges that you've experienced within your journey and how you were able to overcome them?
Okay. One highlighted challenge that I can point out. We were once defrauded.
Really?
Early on, we had once defrauded, and we ended up losing everything.
Oh,
sure.
My goodness.
We ended up losing everything after we had a big order because lack of experience.
Yes.
Because as a young entrepreneur, you are excited, you go into business, you don't know anything about checks, you don't know anything about banking systems and stuff. You just take an order. Someone comes, hey, I have an order for you, a big order this much. We would love to work with you.
Yes.
And then you prepare an order, you make loans in order to cover the cost of that order. Then the money gets into the account, you see a notification, then you deliver the eggs.
Yes. Yes.
Only to find that the money was not even there. It
Oh
was
my
just
gosh.
it was just a fraudulent
Yes.
So after that big order that we had, we lost everything.
Sure.
And then I think that time I stayed in the house for the whole 6 months. I was so depressed.
Yes.
Can you imagine?
It's it's a heavy blow.
Yeah. So but then I'm happy it happened early on, and I had the experience, and I had to learn those things so that it doesn't happen later on when the business has grown even further.
Yes.
So it's one of the challenges that I've come across in business, and some challenges. I think there are the normal challenges that are part of the day-to-day of running the business. You'd find that we are delivering from sunset to sunrise, non-stop, and you don't sleep. Especially because we deal mostly with students. Students don't sleep, and they make orders around the clock, and they'll be studying. Especially
do students even understand the word sleep?
They don't, especially during the exam times.
Yes, because they're burning that midnight oil.
Exactly. So you'd be delivering the whole night up until you see the sun rising in the morning. So, but then that is part of creating efficient and effective systems, as you were saying. So we are learning, and hopefully in the future we will be able to master those challenges and conquer them. Yeah.
Shona, thanks for that, man. It's given actually quite a lot of insights. And I mean, as we look to wrap up, I mean, I think what would be nice is, what type of information or lessons or lasting words would you like to leave for, budding entrepreneurs, somebody who's looking to start a business or they're already having a business that can also just encourage them?
Mm-hmm. I would love to say to budding entrepreneurs or upcoming entrepreneurs to say that it is not about what you do, it's about how you do it. We started just like any other vendor. An egg vendor is just one box of eggs. But then I had a vision. I decided that I'm not going to become a small business forever.
Yes.
And then I made it into a big business in my head. Hence, in the end, I ended up having contracts with big brands because I wanted to keep myself at a small business level or at the vendor level. Yeah, so I've won awards before. The Eggman has been published all around the country, even up to Sierra Leone. I saw a newspaper the other day that was posted in Sierra Leone. Yeah. Yes, thank you. In Zimbabwe, I saw a newspaper that was talking about the Eggman. And so it's all about thinking big. Yeah, because it's all in the mind at the end of it.
It's in the mind, yeah.
Absolutely. Sure. Thank you so much for that. And Papa, what about yourself? What have been your key takeaways from this conversation with Tebogo?
I think when I'm hearing your story, one thing that comes immediately into my mind is just the importance of not taking for granted what's right in front of us.
Yes.
Sometimes, we'll watch movies and all these American shows, to try and get business ideas and, let me just create this app or this, whatever. And then yet there are opportunities that are right in front of us that with the right attitude and the right application can really transform our lives.
That's true.
And when we talk about it, sometimes it's just English. But then, when we have you here, I mean, this is a real life, example of how to go about doing this. So that's the one thing that screams directly into my mind,
Absolutely. Gosh, it's been such a fantastic conversation, Tebogo, and I think it's also testament to how to just grow your business, one step at a time, one move at a time. And, over time with that consistency, with the discipline, it can really just grow and expand into something so much bigger. I definitely see your business really growing and just being on even bigger platforms as well. You're certainly well on your way. And we are happy with the growth that we've seen in your business. And thank you so much for being part of this Monetize Your Business community and family. I think that your story is definitely going to inspire others as well.
Yes, most definitely. Thank you guys for having me.
You are most welcome. Monetizers, that brings us to the end of this podcast conversation with Tebogo Fortunate Mathe, also known as the Eggman. He is running such a phenomenal business. We'll be sure to leave his contact details in the description box. Please make sure that you support his business and also leave a comment. Let us know any of your aha moments from this conversation, what you enjoyed the most. And until our next podcast episode of Monetize Your Business podcast conversations in partnership with FNB. So we've heard all about mentorship, but are you looking for a physical platform that you can plug into? Well, I've got good news for you. Monetize Your Business workshops in partnership with FNB have been designed exactly for you. If you are an entrepreneur based within the township, then we are coming to you. Monetize Your Business workshops are a fantastic platform where you can get access to masterclasses, fireside chats, networking, and you can also pitch your business for an amazing cash prize, a good boost into your business to help you grow and scale your business. You also have an opportunity to exhibit your products and services to a buying customer base and audience. So if this is something that you're interested in, hurry right now, run, don't walk to www.monetizeyourbusiness.co.za.